Blanche Monnier was born on March 1, 1849, into a well-off and respected family in Poitiers, France. Her parents, Madame Louise Monnier and Emile Monnier, lived in a grand house in Poitiers, where they were considered to be pillars of the community. Blanche had a brother named Marcel Monnier, who was a successful lawyer like his father. Blanche was described as a charming and vivacious young woman in her youth. She was well-educated and reportedly had many suitors. However, her life took a dark turn when she fell in love with an older lawyer who was not deemed suitable by her family. Marcel Monnier vehemently opposed the relationship and forbade Blanche from seeing him. In 1876, Blanche mysteriously disappeared from public life. Her family claimed that she had gone to live in a convent to atone for her sins, and they continued to maintain this story for over 2 decades. During this time, Marcel Monnier continued to live in the family home, and their father Emile died in 1885. The truth about Blanche's captivity began to unravel in May 1901 when an anonymous letter was sent to the police in Poitiers. The letter stated that a woman had been held captive in the Monnier house for over 2 decades. The police initially dismissed the letter as a hoax, but they decided to investigate further. Acting on the tip, the police went to the Monnier house and were met by Marcel Monnier, who initially denied any knowledge of a captive woman. However, when they searched the house, they discovered a hidden staircase leading to a tiny, windowless, and filthy room in the attic. There, they found Blanche Monnier, who was emaciated, covered in filth, and barely recognizable as a human being. Blanche was immediately taken to a hospital, where doctors were shocked by her condition. She was severely malnourished, had long, matted hair, and her body was covered in sores and insect bites. Blanche was also suffering from extreme psychological trauma. She was unable to speak coherently and appeared to be in a state of profound shock. The revelation of Blanche's captivity stunned France, and the story made headlines around the world. Marcel Monnier was arrested and questioned about his role in her imprisonment. He claimed that he had been following his father's orders to keep Blanche locked away due to her disobedience and refusal to marry the men they had chosen for her. Blanche Monnier's story became a symbol of the horrors that can occur behind closed doors, and it sparked outrage and calls for reform in France. She spent the remaining years of her life in seclusion, first in a psychiatric hospital and later in a convent, where she passed away in 1913. Marcel Monnier was declared mentally unfit to stand trial and was committed to a psychiatric hospital, where he died in 1913. The Blanche Monnier case remains one of the most shocking and disturbing examples of abuse and isolation in modern history, serving as a stark reminder of the capacity for cruelty that can exist within families.